Hello whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. Today we'll be taking a look at this bottling from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. Now, the fact that they love Arran is evidenced by the fact that this is already the 111th single cask that they bottle of distillery 121. 121 is in fact the Arran distillery, although we should now officially say the Locranza distillery, because when they opened the Lag distillery on the south part of the Arran Island, they renamed their northern distillery, but Locranza, it will always be the Arran distillery to me. Oh, we're almost done. All right. So this is cask 111 that they bottle from Arran single malt, and it's called Tempura Tincture. I have absolutely no clue what that means, but you have to realize that all these names are invented basically by the tasting panel, and they try to give names to their releases that have to tell you something about the contents, basically. Well, let's find out. I wouldn't know, because I have absolutely no idea what Tempura Tincture means. But anyway, this is an Arran that is bottled at 62.1% ABV. It's very young. It was distilled in 2015. This is only 8 years old, because this was bottled in it doesn't really say on the cask, on the label. It does say it was distilled on the 2nd of December 2015, and it had an outturn of 216 bottles, and this is at 62.1% ABV. The Arran 8 years old 2015 by the Scotch Malt Whisky Society at 62.1 on the nose. Well, at first this smells very grassy. Think hay as well as freshly cut grass, and all the stages in between. And then I get some lime sorbet, chamomile tea, pine nuts, sesame seeds, quite herbal in fact. And then the orchard fruit kicks in. Hints of raw mushrooms in there too. And incidentally, it is surprisingly waxy on the nose. Quite nice, quite nice. It's that waxiness is not something I expect from Arran, to be honest. But this is quite lovely, and it becomes sweeter as it breathes in the glass. Quite lovely nose indeed on the palate. It's pleasantly waxy on the tongue as well. This is unheard of. Now I immediately get an unmistakable touch of peat in there. This means that it is basically a Macrimore release instead of an Arran single malt release. Well, Macrimore is of course an Arran single malt release, but peated, as you know. Although they have moved their really peaty production to the Lag distillery, they still produce Macrimore at Arran once in a while. It's nice and earthy. I get some ginger, some candied lime. Those take the reins, and then that is followed by some sandalwood and lots of melon in there too. And then it is strongly countered by a bit of a brackish touch, a bit of sea salt. Quite balanced, quite good, and to be honest, for this age, quite complex as well on the finish. That finish is long, surprisingly long, and I get some coriander at the death, and it leaves my mouth completely dry. Well, I did not expect this to be a peaty Arran, maybe even a lightly peated Arran, but it was a pleasant surprise, because this is better than the standard Macrimore, if I may say so. And it is still available to members of the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. I'm not sure, it's around 73, 75 euro, some thereabouts. Still available. The Arran is the 111th single cask of Arran malt produced by or bottled by the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. They are currently, if I'm not mistaken, at the time of filming, they are at 115, I believe. So, as I said at the beginning of this rambling, they do like their Arran single malt. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, the Arran 8 years old 2015 from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. Tempura Tincture. Whatever. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you. Bye-bye.